Hey there, what is going on? It is Rob from Crypto Bobby, and today I want to talk to you specifically about the importance of selling limit orders in regards to buying the dip or also limit sell orders if it comes to selling a spike or taking profit, and the benefit that that can have for you when it comes to trading really while you're sleeping, whether you're on the beach, if you're at work, doing whatever the heck it is that you're doing. Limit orders are, I think, a really important thing. And this video is going to be a little bit more geared towards some folks that are newer to the space. If you're a more advanced trader, if you're have been in the markets for a while, maybe this isn't going to be the video for you. So I would just recommend taking a look at some of the other kind of daily recaps that I have and things of that nature. But if you are new, definitely stick around for this video. And as well, if you are new to the channel as a whole, hit the subscribe button so you get all this content every time I release new videos. Now, I'm going to walk through specifically on how to set limit orders, both buy and sell limit orders within GDAX, which is the platform that I utilize, which is a subsidiary of Coinbase, and something you see here on the top, it's from Coinbase. So if you're not familiar with GDAX, this is the more of a institutional-like trading platform for Coinbase. And I will also walk through from the perspective of Bittrex if you're looking to handle things on an altcoin, because the actual utilization of this looks a little bit more, looks a little bit different. So when you are investing in cryptocurrency, a lot of people tend to talk about buying the dips, right? It makes sense. If cryptocurrency spikes, that's always the point in time when you want to buy, but it's typically the worst time to buy. So everybody always says buy the dips, buy the dips. Well, what the hell does that mean, and how can you do it easily? So to do it easily, typically, what I would recommend is if you have some money, whether it's the US dollars, if it's euros, if you have fiat, or if it's an altcoin, if you have Bitcoin or Ethereum waiting, what you want to do is you want to pick an entry point that you're looking at that you're interested in. Whether you're looking for a 5% discount, if you're looking for a 10% discount, it might be a 25% discount if you want to get very aggressive. Determine a discount percentage and set an order lower if you're looking to buy. And that we'll walk through exactly what this process is and how to do that. So to get started, I'm just going to quickly do a market sell order. So I'm going to take one of my Ethereum and I'll just sell this. I'll eat the fee here for you, but so we can take a look at what this is. And if you're not familiar, I've made a video on GDAX and kind of the different types of orders here, but essentially a market order is going to sell me. I'm going to sell one of my Ethereum at the market price, and I'm also going to be paying a fee for that. So I'm just going to click the sell order here. Click the sell order. You can see here I paid an 88 cents fee for that sell order. That was filled. I sold it at $294.90. So now I have those $294.90. And what I'm going to do right now is I'll go in here and I'll look at the Ethereum and I'll pull this up a little bit. But what I'll see here is, so we're looking at the charts, and I'll pull this up to a 1-day chart so you can see, or 1 hour chart, excuse me. And you can see here we've been sitting at around 200, but Ethereum pushed up to about $300 and then kind of went back down to 290 and then is pushing up close to $300 again. But let's just say in my mind, I have a hypothesis right now that Ethereum is going to go back down to $290, and I want to save myself $5. And I don't want to buy it at $294. I want to buy it at $290. So what I can do here is I'll go in, I'll set a buy order at 1 ETH for $290, and I'll click this place buy order, and that will provide me with an order. If the price comes down to $290, then I will buy one Ethereum at that rate, and my US dollars up here is going to be going towards that order. And we can see here on the depth chart too. So I was on the price chart with Ethereum, but we can see here on the depth chart that my order, this little green diamond right here, that's actually where my order is and where it will be filled if Ethereum dips back to that rate. And I will buy Ethereum at that number. So I'll leave that there. And if the price of Ethereum goes down and goes down and goes down from 294 or 295 all the way down to 290, then I will purchase that if it hits 290. The benefit to that is I essentially just either saved $5 or I'm able to buy more. So we're not able to see this really in real time unless Ethereum goes down to $290 and has a little bit of a, kind of a brief little dip or a little crash there. But how does this work in real time? So if I go over to the 6-hour charts this weekend, there was a lot of fears around China and what was going on with China and the regulatory bans, and there was a lot of FUD, and there was a lot of bad news. So you could see here, this is the 6-hour charts, but basically Ethereum went from being worth about 300 over the course of the weekend, went from being worth about $300 all the way down to being worth $200 at a specific point in time. Now, when I looked at that, I thought, okay, things aren't looking great, but Ethereum was just at $400 pretty recently. And this was when Ethereum was at about $300 or so. I saw kind of the bad news coming. I saw a lot of FUD coming. Rather than just buying it when I saw it at 300 and when I saw it at 200, I said to myself, let's put a few orders out there and let's try and buy it really cheap if it hits that number. So let's try and buy it really cheap. Let's see what happens. Let's see if I can grab some cheap Ethereum. And so what I did was I set a couple different orders at around the kind of the low, the 200 or so. And I also set some orders around 250, 240. So when this was around 300, I said, okay, it's at 300 around right now, but there's a lot of bad news in the marketplace. Let's see if I can buy it at a $50 discount, $100 discount, and then I can make that up in the long run. And that way I'll just be increasing my stack. So we can go over here to the actual fills, and we can see, I'll look here from the 3 days ago when I bought. We can roll down here. I bought Ethereum at 1 ETH at 205. I bought another half ETH at 205. I also bought some more ETH at 251 and 251 again, and then did a little bit of trading here and there, but ended up kind of my final entry point being about 255, 253, 251. So that was kind of the main points of I bought down here on the dip. I sold a little bit, took some profit. Bought a little bit more here, went up, took some profits, and then set a buy order a little bit lower, took some profits. So essentially, what you want to do, or the big benefit, in my opinion, to setting limit orders is when you're able to lock in profits. And the big benefit and the great part about this was I was actually waking up and getting emails from Coinigy saying, hey, your buy order executed, or hey, your sell order executed, so that this is kind of a set it and forget it type thing. Right now, let's say right now, Ethereum is at $294, but you think it's going to go down to $275. So if you have some US dollars in waiting, if you have some euros in waiting, you set that buy order to $275, you set it, forget it, let it go. The worst thing that happens is that buy order doesn't fill. Yeah, maybe the price of Ethereum goes up and you don't have as much of a chance to buy more, or you can't buy as much as you would have been able to buy, but you're not losing money. So that's one of the big, I think, advantages to buying the dip. And this also works in a lot of cases for selling too. So right now I have 3.5 Ethereum, and it's just within the GDAX. It's not my overall portfolio. So that's what the Ledger Nano S is for, but I have 3.5 Ethereum that I bought on these dips and was kind of playing around with, as well as, for example, here on GDAX. So about 3.5 Ethereum. Let's just say that I think that I just saw the price of, I'll pull this back up to a 1-hour chart, and we saw the price of Ethereum hit $302 and then quickly sell back down. So let's say I see this 3.5 ETH, and I say, it's going to hit $300 again, and as soon as it hits $300, I'm going to take my profit because I think it's going to drop back down. Basically, what you do is I pop in here, I type, okay, I'm going to do a limit order. I'm going to sell 3.5 ETH for $302, or let's say $305, and then I'll place that sell order. That's not going to cost you anything at all because it's a limit order within GDAX, so there is no fee associated with that. So number one, great news there. There's no fee. I've already made a video on that, which I'll link to again in the description, but there is no fee associated with that. But the benefit to that is if you're trying to take profits, if you want to guarantee that you're going to make yourself money, if you bought at $290 and you just want to take a little bit of profits and take some risk off the table, set a higher sell order and sit back. And if you're sleeping, if you're doing something, if you're at work, whatever it is, that order is going to execute on the depth chart if, we'll zoom out here and you can see here's my buy order at 290. Here's my sell order at 305. And that's that. If it goes one way, if it reduces in value, I'm going to be buying $290 worth of Ethereum. If it goes to the high end, if it goes up to 305, I'll be selling that Ethereum, the 3.5 at Ethereum at 305 per ETH, and that's that. And so I'll just cancel both of these right now, just gonna cancel these, and you can see that the money will shortly be back from the buy order back into my overall balance. Now, outside of that, how does this work from the perspective of altcoins? You can do the same thing with altcoins. Within this perspective, you are trading US dollars or whatever your native currency might be, but a GDAX is US dollars or euro or GBP. But this is trading US dollars or euro. Now, outside of that, what you can potentially do is you can also go over here to Bittrex, and we'll take a look at Bittrex. We'll pop open the markets here, and we'll look at that. And you can either trade with Bitcoin pairings or Ethereum pairings. And those are kind of the two main ones. You could also do dollar tether, but I necessarily wouldn't always recommend that just because I've heard some negative things about dollar tether recently, so I don't think it's the best store of value other than short term. But let's look at either Ethereum or Bitcoin. So if we go in here, I don't have any Bitcoin in my account, so I'll just go over to the Ethereum markets right now, and I'll click on Status Network because it's up 17% on the day, and about a week or so ago, I sold my final position in Status, so of course it goes up 17% when I sell. Is what it is. That's life, right? But what you could do with Status, so we can see here I have just a little bit of Ethereum in this account. I have 0.21 Ethereum, and I see the price right now of Status of SNT is 0.9991. But I want to wait until it goes down. So I want to wait. If I were to buy the most Status that I could when it's 0.991, I would be buying 2,000 SNT tokens, 2,170 SNT tokens. Let's say I just want a better bargain and I want to set my order lower. I can easily do that. I'll just say instead of 0.991, I'll make it 0.00008. And then I'll recalculate that. And we can see now I'm able to get 600 more SNT tokens for that. I can click on the buy, and that is going to add me to the order. That's going to add me to the order book. So I'll click confirm here, and this is going to, my buy order is going to be placed there, and this is going to be open until it's either filled or I cancel it, is essentially how that will work forward. And you can do that from a buy order or a sell order perspective. But the one thing I would recommend too is, this only works in a lot of respects if you have patience and you're able to, if you have either a little bit of fiat in waiting or a lot of fiat in waiting or currency in waiting, or you have Bitcoin and Ethereum and you're looking to acquire a specific cryptocurrency. So when you are doing this method, you want to specifically target cryptocurrency that you're very excited about, that you think has a potential. Come up with a thesis and pick either, if you're buying, pick an entry point, or if you already own that cryptocurrency, pick a perspective or pick a number of profit that you'd like to take and set your sell order, and just like the old, I forget, Ronco or whatever that commercial was, just set it and forget it, set the freaking oven, let the turkey roast, and go do your thing. And if you're sleeping, if you're lying on the beach, if you're at work behind a desk, it's going to execute. And that way it takes a lot of the risk off the table. And it also takes a lot of it allows you to both lock in profit and also get a lot better deals when you are buying cryptocurrency. This was in one of the better ways that I went ahead and was able to buy a good acquire a decent amount of Bitcoin this weekend. I actually increased my stack a little bit here. You can see right now, again, this isn't the whole stack by any stretch, but we have one Bitcoin just sitting here in the GDAX portfolio. But again, that's what Ledger Nano S is for, to keep these things really safe. But we can see here that it did a little bit of, a little bit of trading and a little bit of buying. But basically, I was able to, when I'm scrolling down here a little bit, was able to acquire Bitcoin at when it was all the way back down at, see here, 3,075. I got a third of a Bitcoin down there, and also was able to get buy back in at about $3,400 on this spike. So I bought down in here with a market order, and then also saw the spike happening and thought it'd be sustained. So this wasn't even a market, this wasn't even a limit order. This was just doing a market order because I was confident in where the market was going and saw it on the upward. So I bought it at 340 or 3,400. Did a little bit of trading here and here, but ultimately my entry point, we can see here with all these green orders, my entry point was a tiered entry point. So I had a Bitcoin. I had one Bitcoin before, and I set part of the buy order at 3665, 3635, 3620, 3575, all the way down to 3510. And literally as I slept, the market went down. We can kind of zoom in. We'd be able to zoom in here if I'm using Coinigy, but the market went all the way back down, and I was able to buy in. So I can even look here if I'm pulling up Coinigy for you guys to see. Pull up these 4-hour charts for you. But you can see these green arrows are all of the entry points that I had within Bitcoin, and this was limit orders. And for the majority of them, they were limit orders. And this was, you could see here that this was kind of the main point of it being a limit order down here. And I just had it set from 3,700 all the way down to kind of ride that bottom. And the majority of those orders filled, which was fantastic. And I've been able to ride that all the way up to the top and just kind of hold on. And it increased that trade by about 0.06 Bitcoin. So nothing crazy, nothing massive, but it's a positive move. And that's ultimately the name of the game, in my opinion, is increasing your stack of Bitcoin, increasing your stack of Ethereum, so that you can hold those cryptocurrencies for the long term and also hold any of the other altcoins that maybe you are very confident in. But that's why I think utilizing limit orders is so effective and so important, is because you can set limit buy orders, whether it's 5 or 10% lower than where the market's at. And if you're feeling a little bit of instability, this was literally the case where I set these orders at night. I don't remember the exact time, so I set these orders at night, and I woke up in the morning, and this filled at midnight. This filled at 4 a.m., and I woke up in the morning, and it was already up in profit. It was great feeling. It doesn't always work that way. You could buy these orders, and it could be way down lower here, which sucks, but at least you're dollar cost averaging your way in, and I think that's an important strategy to take, an important way to go about things. So that's kind of my thoughts on limit orders and how to utilize them both with GDAX as well as Bittrex. It's an important strategy. Market orders can have we can see here, market orders can have their utilization. I use market orders on occasion. They do have fees, especially if it's a 0.3% fee. So it's not a massive fee by any stretch, but it's still a fee, and it can eat into your profits if you're not trading a huge amount, but it's a 0.3% fee on the market. The limits, number one, reduce and eliminate your fees as well. They give you an opportunity to take some of the emotion out of it. Just pick a number that you're comfortable with. Give it a 5% discount. Give it a 10% discount. If you think things are going to crash at one point in time, or you just want to be safe, put a market buy order in for 30% lower. If you think, hey, Bitcoin is at $4,000 right now, but it might go down again to $3,000 or $3,100. Put a market order in. The only negative to that is you need the money, you need the US dollars waiting in your account. So if you're comfortable with that, do that. If you got the money, do that. And that is a great way to do things. Now, if you guys do have questions, definitely let me know. Hit me up in the comments. And if you are new to the channel, also let me know about that as well. My name is Rob from Crypto Bobby. I hope you found this video helpful. If you do have questions, like I said, please let me know. Hit that subscribe button if you're new here. And if you aren't new here, if you are a subscriber, hit the like button so I can get this video out to as many people and hopefully help as many people as possible. Thank you guys so much for your time. I appreciate it. I hope you have a fantastic day, night, whether you're buying, if you're trading, if you're holding, if you're selling. Good luck. Have a good one. Peace.